Azazel began his existence as an angel but grew so corrupted that he turned into a demon. In Jewish literature, Azazel is such a nefarious beast that he corrupts humanity as the creator of sin. His name can be found all throughout the forbidden texts of the Bible, scripture that was never included into any official biblical renditions. His name only shows up officially in Leviticus 16. There's a single passage which says, "Aaron shall cast lots over 2 goats, one for the Lord and the other for Azazel. The goat presented to the Lord is an offering, while the goat for Azazel will be bestowed with the sin of man and sent into the wilderness." Number 9. Biblical dragons. Scripture employs the use of dragon imagery, although almost always as symbolic metaphors. Dragons are used in the Bible to describe sea monsters, great serpents, and even the devil himself. Wherever you look in the Bible, dragons are described as the enemy of God. In the Old Testament, the dragon is a primal nemesis of God and rises up against him only to be destroyed. The dragon then returns in the book of Revelation at the very end of days, once more facing off against the Creator. In the end, the dragon is defeated and cast down into darkness. The most traditional description of a dragon can be found in the book of Job. There is a creature called Leviathan, which Job says has eyes as red as the dawn. The Leviathan spits lightning from its mouth like flashes of fire, and smoke oozes from out its nostrils like steam rising off of a boiling pot. Number 8. The Ophanim. According to the Bible, a priest named Ezekiel and the king of Judah, Jehoiakim, were captured along with 10,000 Jews in the year 597 BC. These people were apprehended by invading Babylonians and exiled to the village of Tel Abib. 5 years later, God showed himself to Ezekiel and bestowed upon him a prophetic vision. It was in this vision that Ezekiel was shown the Ophanim, a shocking creature of God. Ezekiel first witnesses a fiery cloud of lightning descending upon him from the north. Within the cloud are 4 blazing creatures. Each of the creatures resemble a human, but all of them have 4 faces. Number 7. The Phoenix. The phoenix, a fiery bird of rebirth, shows up in one Jewish translation of the Old Testament. It's also found in a Greek version of the Old Testament from the 3rd century BC. There are 2 main passages. One says, "I shall die with my nest, and I shall multiply my days as the phoenix." The other says, "And like the phoenix, I shall have a long life." The phoenix is a legendary bird from many different mythologies. Legend has it that every 500 years, the phoenix dies in an eruption of flames and then is reborn from its very own ashes. Number 6. The Cockatrice. The cockatrice is a bizarre mythical animal that became exceptionally popular in the Middle Ages. It was a horrible creature that a lot of people really believed in. In mythology, the cockatrice is a hybrid between a serpent and a chicken. It was believed to resemble a type of serpent called a basilisk, with 2 wings, the head of a rooster and the lower half of a serpent. In legends, the cockatrice can people simply by looking at them. If it touched or breathed on someone, it would them instantly. It was poisonous, fierce, and had razor-sharp talons like a rooster. In medieval bestiaries, ancient guides on mythical monsters, it was said the only animal immune to the stare of the cockatrice was the weasel. It was also thought that the crow of a rooster would these creatures. Number 5. Beelzebub. Beelzebub was transformed to Beelzebul by the Jews, which is made up of 2 different words, Baal and Zebul. Baal, which was the name of the Canaanite fertility god in the Old Testament, was also a heathen deity supposedly worshipped by a disturbed cult who sacrificed children in his honor. The second word that makes up this demon's name is Zebul, which means exalted dwelling. It's only when we put these 2 words together that they create Beelzebub, or Beelzebul, ruler of demons, lord of dung, and god of filth. Beelzebub has been around for a very long time, since at least the days of the Philistines. Number 4. The Locusts. When the 5th trumpet is blown in Revelation, it begins what are known as the 3 woe judgments. These are great plagues of sorrow and distress. Horrible woes, far worse than all that happened in the years of tribulation beforehand, after the first 4 trumpets were blown. An unspeakable demon who has in his possession the key to the abyss. The abyss is also described as the bottomless pit, and Apollyon goes by another name, Abaddon, which translates to destroyer. Number 3. Maggoth. There is very little mention of demonic forces in the Bible. Most of the demons we know by name came from various works afterward. For example, the whole idea of there being princes of came from work published in the centuries following the rise of Christianity in Europe. Many of the most popular tales of demons and horrible monsters didn't come about until the medieval days. It's from the Book of Sacred Magic of Abramelin the Mage, published between 1362 AD and 1458 AD, that we see the supposed hierarchy of demons in. Number 2. The first and second beasts of Daniel. In the book of Daniel, he is given a vision of the end of days. His prophetic vision is believed to be a metaphor for the greatest empires of the 6th century BC. These empires are also seen by King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon in his dream, early on in the book, and later in Daniel 7, he describes the empires in the form of beasts. The vision comes to Daniel in a dream. It starts on a windy night, with Daniel looking out at a turbulent sea. The waves crash and the foam sprays the night sky, and suddenly 4 great beasts emerge from the dark waters. The first beast is a lion with the wings of an eagle. As Daniel looks on, the wings are ripped off the beast, and the creature stands on its hind legs like a man. Then a human heart is placed inside of the beast's chest, that an angel of God tells Daniel the first beast is a representation of King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon. Number 1. The third and fourth beasts of Daniel. In Daniel's vision of apocalyptic horror, the third beast rises from the sea like a leopard, with 4 wings like a bird, and 4 heads. Daniel is told that the third beast has been given authority to rule over the land. It's almost certainly a representation of Greece, the great empire known for its swiftness and successful conquest. The 4 heads of the leopard represent the 4 fractions of Greece following the death of Alexander the Great and the division of his kingdom. Daniel then witnesses the final beast. This one is the most dreadful, the most frightening, and by far the most powerful. It has huge iron teeth, and Daniel has no living animal to compare it to. It's a horrible thing which devours its victims and tramples all that's left on the ground beneath its huge feet. It's an annihilator of prey, a great amalgamation of all the beasts of the world with 10 horns rearing out of its ugly head.